don't cuss me because I'm watching the Arsenal game.
I've gone live and they've caught you saying that Arsenal. That's how I know you got love for me, Gary. You flipping came on even though your Arsenal's on. Huh? The distraction started already, you know.
No,
Already. He said, don't be vexed with me because I'm distracted. And he's distracted from the beginning. How you guys doing?
Yeah, great, thanks. I was going to say my husband's downstairs watching the Arsenal as well, so yeah,
cool.
I won't even try.
Boy, I've been lucky we got. Is that why you sounded so flat when I called you? Because I phoned him earlier and I was like, "Are you still on for today?" He was like, "Yeah."
No, I was driving and someone was in front of me getting on my last nerves.
Oh, okay. So I was like, he must be. I thought it must be Arsenal. That's why.
No. I don't know if you've ever driven anywhere where police are coming coming towards you on the opposite side of the road, and people are driving on your side, and some idiot just stops because the police are coming the other direction. Like,
yeah, and they're on the whole other side of the road.
Why are you stopping? And then you brake because this idiot's braking, and you're like, what's wrong with you? And they wait for the police to go past. Like, this is a double-sided road, but just drive.
Yeah, they're on their side of the road. What to you? Well, I didn't do our little trailer intro or nothing. We just went straight into Arsenal. So okay. I'm going to add our trailer because we have to do it. And one sec. We're officially starting the show now. Hello, good evening, No Bravado Massive. So, as we just do everything as we like on this show, you know how it goes. But we started off with Arsenal talk and driving talk, so we thought we'll reintroduce and regroup and formally welcome our No Bravado member, Sharleen DaCosta.
Hi.
Formerly Khoorban. So y'all Mrs. No. Hey.
I think when you probably first invited me on, I wasn't DaCosta yet, was I? I was still
Khoorban, and then our whole wedding took place, and the whole name transformation, and here you are. So thank you for joining us. Let me add our slide because I've done like a little presentation up until the last minute we had this thing at the stage. But tonight we're going to discuss a non-Black woman who states Black women would be winning if we were softer in discussion about Black men and dating out and so on and so forth. But yes, today we welcome you, my love.
Thank
and just want to invite you to, because we've got some brilliance in our group. Like the more we start to talk to our little memberships, group members, they got skills. And everyone's doing their thing. If it's not a trip to Gambia, it's a beauty salon, or someone's got a nail technician, or someone's doing something, like real things, real great things. So this is like, we love when members come on to chop it up with us. We've been telling them to come, so slowly but surely you lot are trickling through. Everyone's active in the group, but to come on the show, Gary's a regular. Gary will come on and help me out, but to come on the show, it's always a blessing when you guys come on. So I want to give you an opportunity to talk to us about what you've been doing and what's happening for you.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Trisha. It's really nice to be here. Obviously, I'm usually on the other side, so it's nice to be on this side finally. So, yep, as you said, I am now Sharleen DaCosta. I got married last year, May. Nice. So I am a life experience mentor and a natural therapist. So what we essentially do is we support the emotional and mental health of the community by using natural therapies and practices. So, instead of using, conventional medicine, prescribed medicine, we use methods like meditation, sound therapy, cold therapy, aromatherapy, but natural herbs and different concoctions that you can use to sort of treat yourself. So that's what we're all about. I was able to set up nearly 2 years ago. I got funding from the National Lottery, and I host retreats. I do workshops.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, lots of different things.
So talk to me about the retreats. The retreats, you mentioned to me that you had the idea because one of your children has special needs, and that it was like a nice respite for family to be able to get away and connect. So that's how it came about. But how did your first one go? Because I remember when you done your first one, how did that go? And when
you know what? I think sometimes when you think of something in your head, it doesn't exactly translate into reality that way. It was a lot more work than I anticipated, and a lot more chaotic, a lot more, moving parts and all that type of thing. But it was just really great and got really great feedback.
Nice.
We're on number 3 now. So number 3 will be happening at the end of February. Essentially, as I said, it's not restricted to just families with children with special needs. It's
a retreat
predominantly from our community, but getting them back into nature. So not necessarily going abroad, but discovering beautiful parts of the UK where you can just reconnect with nature and just disconnect from the city life,
Yeah, it's needed, and every time you turn around, every little nook and cranny them find, they're building up flats.
Yeah,
it's just on top of. So you kind of need to be able to disconnect and So what would you say are the benefits of
benefits? Because when we think, talk about mental health, we know it's a epidemic. It increased drastically since COVID. Some statistics saying like 200% more reported cases of mental health, and I wouldn't know what that is just in our community specifically. So it really is that I like to give people tools that they can use at home or just in their everyday life that they can help to soothe themselves, help themselves to relax. As I say, some people feel like it's a bit pie in the sky, but there is scientific studies that show how these therapies impact your nervous system, slow down your brain waves, and help you relax, which is essentially what we need to do. Instead of just keep going, we need time where we can just relax. So that is really what the benefits are, just giving you that break, so that you're not always sort of running at that climatic, pace.
Because stress is the number one sort of cause for a lot of the issues that we've got out here, and learning to de-stress. And because I think one of the things I'm working on at the moment is I'm an overthinker. So something will replay in my mind, and it's how do you not do that? And everyone always points to meditation, but then even during the meditation, my mind may wander. So then I have gone to guided meditation. Even during the guided meditation, my mind may wander. And so it's combining breathing. Because when you're concentrating on the breathing, it pushes thoughts out. 100%. So it's learning to control your control your mind, and your mind not control you. You should be able to quieten it when you need to quieten it.
But like most things, Trisha,
more difficult than you would think.
It takes practice. It's something that you have to practice daily, even 5 minutes a day of having that mindful moment. In time, you will get better and better at mastering quietening your mind. Like most things, you just have to practice
and that. I think for me as well, I've been diagnosed with high blood pressure. It seems to run in our family. One of my brothers died of a brain aneurysm, which I think is kind of stroke and stress related. And my mum's got high blood pressure. My dad had it, and my mum was taking medication for diabetes and high blood pressure. But I've watched how those medications have literally ripped her to shreds. So we're literally trying to rebuild her now with herbal medication and stuff like that. Like, she was saying to me that she ran out of a tablet, and we went to the hospital and they delivered the tablet whilst we was out. So she went without this tablet for about 8 days.
Mm.
And she started to feel a bit better. When the
Mm.
tablet arrived and she took it, declined back to can't breathe, can't walk, can't, in 2 days. So I'm sitting here with high blood pressure because life has been lifing for me. And I'm sitting here with high blood pressure, but I don't want to take them tablets. So what would your 5 top recommendations be for someone like me that?
Well, I would definitely say exercise. I know it's, cliched, but that is at the top of the list for everything. Managing your mind, body, and spirit. We need to get moving. You have to get moving. Number 2, and I would say, 3 times a week minimum, and that could just be walking. It doesn't have to be, weightlifting or anything
like
crazy.
that.
Literally go for a walk where your heart rate rises, but you're not out of breath. You're not going hammer and tong sort of thing. The second thing, obviously, your diet. Again, in our community, too much salt, too much sugar. We know these things, but we continue doing it. So like on the retreats that I host, we only go vegetarian. We don't eat any animal products. Even though I am not a vegetarian, but I just think when we go away, it's just a nice break for your body. So what did I say? Exercise, nutrition, the breathing. As I say, if you really understand the power of your breath, it really does change your life. Because most of us, our bodies are starved of oxygen because we breathe very shallow. So that exaggerated breath makes there's just so many health benefits to it.
Right.
I would say number 4 is you need to have a budget for your health. Just like we have a food budget, you need a budget for your health. Because again, when you tell somebody, again, I don't want to generalize, but if you say, listen, spend £50 a month on yourself for your health, whether that be supplements, whether that be natural herbs, whatever it is, a meditation class, a sound therapy class, they don't want to spend the money, but they will go to, I don't want to mention any brand name.
I
don't want to mention any name, you understand? But they will go to and they wouldn't even question it. And there's actually no benefit, there isn't any benefit to it, or it's a very short-lived benefit, So what was that 5? Was that 5?
Yeah, it was exercise, breathing, meditation, and
nutrition,
and have the money for your health.
It's really important. I used to not think twice about spending, £100 on trainers or what have you. And right now, I'm spending about £120 a month on my health because I have an overactive thyroid and I don't take the medication. I use essential oils, and I have a book that tells me the oils what I can take to treat my thyroid. And the doctor doesn't believe me that I'm not taking the medication.
No, they think you're pie in the sky mad.
So, but all the information is there. We've got the access to the internet. There's books. Everything is there for us to help our own self.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, you've also been doing. Before we move on, I want to talk about quickly your events in Dalston.
Oh right, okay.
So
go on.
So I know that you've had 2 so far.
I've had 4. I've had 4.
Okay. Right. So what happens there?
So what happens to the events in Dalston? So they're twice a month down in Dalston off of Kingston High Road. And it is a 2-hour session, guided meditation and sound therapy. So again, just as I'm speaking about, it's just an opportunity for you to just completely relax. It is a beautiful venue. Decor is all in keeping with what, the ambience that we want to create. One of relaxation, you detaching from your life outside. And we just have a really, really beautiful time. We've had some really great sessions. I've got a session this Saturday. So if anybody wants any information, it's 3 till 5 off of Kingston High Road. Just hit me up.
Right. So where can they find you with that said? What's the best way to get in contact with you for more information and stuff?
Well, they could, definitely message, you can contact me in Messenger. Instagram, I'm Mrs. DaCosta. My email, hello at SharleenDaCosta.com, LinkedIn, Sharleen DaCosta. When we put Sharleen DaCosta, spelt the right way, might I say, with an S, then you'll find me.
Because even after you, I put, when I was doing the little thing, I still put, because I spell it with a C. So I was just
do.
Yeah,
Most
take
people
out the
do.
C. Yeah.
I don't know what my parents was thinking. Most people do. I don't know.
Listen, that's what makes you unique. Well, anyway, thank you, Sharleen. Thank you for joining us and for sharing that. What I will do is probably, I'm going to tag you in the video.
Okay.
I'll tag you in the video, and I will put your details, or you can put your details in the chat.
Brilliant.
On Facebook, and then people can contact you directly if they want to.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Thanks.
All right. So what's our first talk? What have I got going on? All right. So we've got the Black Excellence Pop-Up Fest. We originally, wrong flyer, just realized. We originally was going to have it on the 24th of February, but it is now moved to the 2nd of March. The reason we've changed it to the 2nd of March is because the Blackwall Tunnel's shut. So it's mayhem trying to get over to them sides when the Blackwall Tunnel's shut, and it just wasn't worth trying to go against it again. So we've moved it from the 24th of, because the first time we did it, the Blackwall Tunnel was shut and we didn't realize, and then we realized, and it was oh shit, we've got to change the date. So for anybody who's out there that's booked on the 24th of February, we are now moving to the 2nd of March. We've got quite a lot of feedback, but there's still some people that need to let us know if they can change the date or if they would like a refund, because literally our stands sold out. Once we put them out, we hadn't even advertised and the stand sold out. It's a really bizarre event because it's in Thamesmead. It's in a beautiful venue, but Thamesmead is particularly kind of a difficult area to crack. So it's getting there where more and more people are coming, and we have a ball. We have a brilliant time. Gary played at the last one. We dance. The traders make money. They make their networks. And although it's not as packed as we would like, because the first one, the tunnel was shut. The second one was on a Sunday. It's still a nice vibe. We've still got enough people, but we would like more. So we really want your help. We really need you to come and support these beautiful Black businesses that we've got on display. But like I said, the stands sell out quick because the exhibitors love it and they buy into what it is that we're trying to do, which is to sustain, to provide a platform where we can contribute to the sustainability of Black economics. So that's basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to promote supporting one another, showcasing, and just growing, building and growing from grassroots up. So this would be our third event. The fourth event will be on the 27th of April. So you've got a choice. You could either move to the 2nd of March or move to the 27th of April or get your money back. And we also need you to register. So again, I'll drop the link in the comments so that you guys can come out and support all of the wonderful businesses that we will be hosting. We've got Quincy as our host, and you know he's funny as hell, so it's always a ball with Quince. And yeah, just come along and join us and let's build and grow. That's all I can say. All right, first topic. Gary, I spoke to you about this. Hang on, let me hide this. I spoke to you about this. So saying the public face call up if we go to war. Military chief warns General Army is too small and government needs to mobilize the nation in an event of conflict with Russia. But I don't understand why we're in conflict with Russia. I don't understand. I'm confused.com. And then the Independent saying the same thing. Britain's face call up to fight if the armed forces in the UK go to war with Russia, top army chief warns. So, Gary, what's your take on this, sweetheart? You've been sitting there all quiet and patient.
To your take, I think I said it's part. You know, it's the headline. When you read the actual story, the head of the army said that Britain or British people need to be aware that there's a whole bunch of geopolitical issues going on with Russia, China, and the army is too small, and we need to look at things like national service or people being called into the army. Not not a conscription where everyone's just got to go in. It's more about kind of building up the army, making it more of a thing, because allegedly, Russia, as well, President Putin and the rest of them will come up with their issues, but they're saying that the world's become a more dangerous place, and there's chances of war. There's a war in Ukraine, and Russia could dash 2 bombs on us, and we could end up in another war and everything. I know lots of people saying, yeah, we're going to get called up. I ain't fighting for no England, or I ain't fighting for this. But for me, if you have to fight, you have to fight it.
Sorry, say that again. For what?
You have to fight it.
You could go to war. Are you going?
Hold on. So what, for me, if you're telling me that, say, for example, it's not going to happen. Russia came into England to fight. You're going to sit in your house with your arms crossed.
No, I'm going to Barbados.
There'll be no planes. Barbados. Like Russia would go Barbados and then bomb Barbados afterwards.
Listen, if there's no, I don't even know how to explain this to you. I cannot. Me fight war. You must be crazy. I don't even think that they've got no business in this war. It's not a damn thing to do with them.
No, what they're saying is if Russia attacked England.
If Russia attacked England?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
So if Russia attacked England,
I
must come out and start fighting in the streets.
Listen, you have to go war. You have to fight. You have to defend your country.
No. The country that keeps telling me to come out.
What are you going to fight then, Gary? Is that what you're saying?
You know what? Would I fight? I think I would. Seriously, I think I would. I think if I was in a situation where, and I'm talking from a person who's got children, and I think if I thought that my children or whatever's going to be worth for my children, I would go and defend my land, my family, and so I think I would.
But this isn't your land.
You say it's not my land, or so the place I reside. Then is that better? Is that? Do you
what
like
if
that?
they call you up and say to go to Russia to fight the war? It's only if they come here you would fight.
I'm saying if they come here, I would fight.
Okay.
I'm not flying to a country to fight someone. That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. I'm not leaving to go and fight somebody, but if they were coming to attack the land that I live in, I would go and support.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if you think about the Second World War and the whole thing when went into Poland and all that, and then came into France, and then was, the world we live in now, would it be the same place? Would it be? You mean so?
Yeah.
So regardless what you say,
sipping my pina colada from Barbados and checking in to see how it's going. No, lie.
Yeah, that.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but I do think
we don't stand a chance if it does.
So do you know what? As far as I'm concerned, the world as it is now, like Britain's got more allies than Russia. See, the problem is Russia and China team up. It's game over, yeah. Because
Russia and China,
if they team, it's game over. And the whole world is there's wars or tensions. Ukraine, Taiwan, where China want to take over Taiwan, take over Hong Kong.
Right.
The whole world's in some geopolitical issue at the moment. And when you watch the news, it's like I know everyone's thinking it's nothing to do with us, but it's a serious thing. These things, I know that whole thing with Yemen and them people bombing the US ships and all that, and people not getting the Amazon parcels on time because the ships ain't coming, and Britain defending its, what's his name? What the word they use? Its interests around the world. It feels a bit weird, but I'm saying to people, like, the world is a dangerous place at the moment. In the thing, so things like these conversations need to be had. What they're saying, that British Army's only got like 60,000 people, 70,000 people, or something like that in the army. The army's not big enough. If you go to war, them 70,000 people are gone.
when they done, I was watching something and they done the comparisons of what we have. I should have added this one because I didn't want to make the show too long.
Yeah.
But I should have added it. But they were saying in comparison to what Putin's got, in comparison to what we've got, it would just the army power alone.
But see, but even Russia's army, they haven't got. I know they say they've got a lot of people, but most of that's the the Wagner group. So they're not really the Russian army. There's some mercenaries.
Hang on, let me find the one that I'm talking about. Where I was
There's some mercenaries. As I said before, it's something you've got to think. I'm too old to fight in the arena now. They won't call me up.
They won't call us now.
I'm too old. It's for the young people like Sharleen DaCosta with this spelled name with this.
But you know what? See, I have 4 sons. Yeah, granted, only one of them is old enough to fight. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Though, if it come here, that's a different argument. But going there, no. That isn't an option. If they come, fair enough.
Listen,
but going, no.
The reason why I'm saying I don't think this is our land is because when they're ready to tell us to come out, they do. Of course. It was Brexit and people that came in the Windrush and built up their properties, lost things in that time, couldn't get back into the country, so on and so forth. So, I don't know. All right, let's watch this one and then I'll play a couple more videos for you and then you'll see why I'm saying what I'm saying. So this is the first one.
Who would win if Russia and Britain went to war? Try not to laugh while watching this. First, Russia has 1.3 million military troops. Britain has just 190,000. Russia has a reserve military of 250,000, but Britain has 37,000. Russia has 14,240 tanks, and Britain only has 227. Russia's military budget is $410 billion annually, while the UK spends just $67 billion. Russia has 5,889 nuclear warheads. As of 2023, meanwhile, UK has only 260. Russia has 6,574 self-propelled artillery. What does Britain have? Just 89. Russia's total military aircraft is 809. Britain has just 120. Instead of discussing peace with Russia, politicians in Britain now say young people would be asked to join the military in a war against Russia. With clear statistics like this, who do you think would win? Let's advocate for peace, not senseless war.
All right. So that was the first one.
Before you play that, before you play it, that's a bit. We know where people try to give you half the facts. Not this bit. You've got England by itself. England's part of NATO, and NATO is huge. So England would be fighting by itself.
England's still part of NATO.
Yes, yeah. So it's NATO. So we're so if anybody attacks England, like it's not part of NATO, the whole of NATO comes out. So America, France, Germany, Sweden, the whole of NATO.
I thought that they gave that up with Brexit.
No. NATO's it's what's it stand for? Something Atlantic Treaty, something. So it's there. So it's the part of NATO. So that's when people love. This is why I say we know it's a bit like that thing. Although we're going to talk about it later. Hopefully, we're going to talk about it later about the sperm in the woman's brain. When someone says something.
Oh no! You should have told me you wanted to talk about that. I didn't. I don't
know about that one. What's that one about?
Stupid. If I can find it at the end, I'll play it. He said it with such a straight face. But anyway, this is the second video, and I thought this guy had a point.
Biggest package of defence aid to Ukraine since the war began, worth £2.5 billion. This will include more air defence equipment, more anti-tank weapons, more long-range missiles, thousands of rounds more ammunition and artillery shells, training for thousands more Ukrainian servicemen and women, and £200 million to build thousands more drones, the single largest package of drones given to Ukraine by any nation. In total, since the war began, the UK will have provided almost £12 billion of aid to Ukraine.
This guy has got to be joking. £12 billion to Ukraine when he can't even help the homeless in our own country. I don't remember being asked if I was okay with my taxes going to Ukraine and to Zelensky's new swimming pool for his mansion. Remember, this is the same clown who announced a cost of living crisis and allowed energy companies to triple our bills. Also the same guy who told us, the people, that we don't want an elected Prime Minister. That's not what the people want. You're fucking joking, mate. The same guy who says on every announcement, Britain stands behind... Look, everyday people aren't interested in a border skirmish halfway around the world. Look after your own people. Stop getting involved in other people's wars and sort out your own country. There's literally your own soldiers on the streets dying because they've got nowhere to live. All you're interested in is helping other people. Help out your own first. You're the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Britain first. Stop worrying about other people's wars. Yes, it's a shame, but who the fuck comes over here and helps us? You don't get Israel sending us packages every time they hear about us having problems with the homeless or a housing crisis. Sort out your own problems first. This fucking clown, he's got to go. He's got to go. What an absolute bellend.
So, yeah. What resonated with me is when he was saying there are ex-soldiers on the street because they've got nowhere to go. You've got 12 billion quid. 12 billion!
Mad.
Why are we in a crisis right now?
It's a madness.
Why is there a cost of living crisis right now? Why is there... It just... Especially if they're part of NATO, they don't need to worry and inveigle themselves because what are you... What are you doing? What are you actually doing?
As I said, when you watch those things, there are clips of things. First of all, you do realise that the whole thing with Richie Sunak talking was a fake thing because mouth wasn't moving in time to the video.
Now, sometimes people's like we've got videos of No Bravado where your mouth's just out of sync. But
okay, cool, right.
Yeah.
Well, but for me, as I said, when I watch news and different things or read things, it's not so like cost of living crisis. Actually, let me say this first. First of all, I think that the Conservative Party's done a terrible job, especially over the last since Brexit. From them, for me, you lost the plot.
Yeah.
But I will say that all the stuff, whatever the UK does, is meant to be benefiting them. So they're not fighting. They're not fighting in Ukraine or getting involved with Ukraine because they want to help Ukraine. They're doing that because if they don't do it, the grain prices, the rice, all the stuff that they import to England is going to go up high. Ukraine's the biggest grain supplier to the world. It's like the world's farm.
Really?
Yeah, it's got all. That's where all the grain and all
this
the.
This is why I love Gary because he's.
Yeah. So listen, if Putin gets that and starts flinging up that's why the gas prices went up because Putin was blowing up the gas stations in Ukraine, and that's what cost the living with all the gas and all the energy prices go up. So people don't do. England's not doing it because they love Ukraine. Let's take that out. They're doing it because it makes sense for them. Because that's why they haven't gone Taiwan and start causing trouble to Chinese. Because Taiwan, other than producing a couple computer chips and stuff, they're like, that's why they don't get involved. There's certain things that's why they're getting involved with this whole Israel and thing. Because the Suez Canal. When people start bombing that, and that's how you get all the ships around, instead of going all right around the bottom of Africa, cutting that out. That's why they're getting involved. The people ain't getting involved because it's for the benefit of those countries. They're getting involved because it's for the benefit of the UK as a whole.
Okay.
But I think that it's not. It's still misplaced though. What he's doing, if he's saying, all right, I'm not going to debate about the figures. If it's 12 billion, 2 billion, whatever it is, there are things that are happening in our country that don't seem to be a priority. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got to have a balance here. He doesn't have no balance. He cannot justify putting 12 billion pounds into another country when there's so much going on here that needs attention.
That needs addressing. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And what I'm saying is, and I'm not even disagreeing that point. And what my point is they've calculated if we don't get the grain or whatever, it's going to be 24 billion, for example, going to cost the UK 12. So it's a business, isn't it? The UK country or countries on the road are businesses. And they've got to run to make a profit. And whatever they're going to do, they're doing it because there's a reason. They're not. If it was a case of that, okay, we will give. That's why they're trying to get into into partnership with have a trade deal with the USA because they know it's going to bring money into the country. They're not doing it because of benefit. And that's the same thing. They're putting money into Ukraine and those countries because they feel it's going to benefit them in the long run. And it's going to bring down the cost of living, but it's going to do this, it's going to make this cheaper, it's going to make that cheaper. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it.
I agree with you to the point that it's got to be something to benefit them, but not the country. They don't care about the country. They don't care about it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not about us. It's about
No.
the money.
It's about the money.
Yeah, it's about the money. Overall, it's about the money. And most of these politicians are doing that whole trickle down economics, but doesn't work. But they're looking at, if we make lots of money, it will trickle down to the poor people and everyone gets some money. That don't work. That don't work.
There's no trickle.
There's no trickle. Because man's got money and say, I'm holding this.
Trickle done.
It only trickles from middle classes. It don't trickle from anyone above that.
It doesn't. But anyway, so here's my old friend Dizzle. This is what he had to say on the matter.
This is a message for Richie or Sunak. Let me tell you this: we have no beef. No, let me start it over. I don't have no beef with Russia. I don't know anybody else. I'm talking for myself here. I'm gonna pick with them. We do not have no beef with Putin. Yeah, that's between Uno. Yeah, when you was in the office and have your beef on the phone, we weren't nowhere near there. So don't be calling us to fight no Russian man. Yeah, see them Russian man there? You see, as soon as they're born out the womb, they're in the army, in the cold. Yeah, ice baths. They're ready they're born for war. We suffer from allergies. Yeah? They just have to come with a bunch of peanuts and that's half of England dead. You know the way there? Okay. Hay fever. We suffer from, we're weak. We suffer from these type of allergies. We're we're allergy-ridden country. But you want us to go and fight in the snow? Some hardback, tough Russian man. You must be mad. Me? That's okay. Furthermore, I identify as somebody with one leg. Yeah? I'm non-binary. So when you say all the men, I don't have to enter. I don't identify. Yeah, that's it. I don't identify as nothing. Okay? So yeah, leave me the fuck alone. Yeah? Allow me right now to get fucking £150 cost of living allowance. You have to jump 2 hoops. But now you want me to jump on a plane to fight a yeah, go ahead, mad. As a yardie then wants to kiss on my battle wall. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's an idiot. I grew up with him. I've commented, like, you're still stupid. You're just still an idiot. He's too funny. But everyone, like, when you go through TikTok, when I started to research this, because you don't know how I am, comes to my attention and then I go down the rabbit hole. When I started to research this, there's many people making many videos saying, now Natalie sent me one, but it's a bit long, so that's why I didn't put it on. But he was just basically saying, I would, but I can't. I'm at physio, ain't I? I'll make it to World War 4 or 5, but gutted. I would have as well. It's just sarcasm after sarcasm after, like, no one's doing it. And the all right, Gary's here saying he will fight for Britain, but the overall consensus is no, you treat us like shit. Working class, we're treated like shit. Why on earth would you even think about talking about summoning us? And that's the overall consensus. So I'm like, well, then there's a problem in this country then, because the morale is really low.
Definitely, but you got to remember, right, Trish? I said I'm guessing when 1940, 41, when the World War II started, most people wouldn't want to fight, and then half the country went and fought because it happened. It happened, and people went to fight.
12 billion and go and buy some soldiers that want to fight. Then
yeah, probably do.
Yeah, but in those days, though, the majority of the soldiers, they were English, though, wasn't they? The majority of them wasn't black, was it?
Most of the soldiers were from, like, the Commonwealth. Bare Commonwealth soldiers were fighting. Bengal, Jamaica, all these places were
I
fighting
still
favors.
can imagine it wasn't the same proportion as it is now. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what portion it is, but I can say that the whole Commonwealth, the Commonwealth was fighting. So all the Commonwealth countries, most of the Commonwealth countries aren't white. All African countries, all these countries around the world.
At that time, they were still glad to have the opportunity to come here. But now we have seen that there was no benefits to coming here. So then they're not as enthusiastic. I don't endorse it at all. I don't endorse that at all.
As I said, look, I'm not trying to go to Russia or somewhere trying to fight, but I do see that if something comes to England, you're not going to be there watching TV going, "Oh yeah, I'm watching The Apprentice." That's outside shooting gun outside your house.
No, I hear that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And plus, like you said, you mentioned something important is that you've got kids. But I'm telling you the truth. The closer that this thing gets, is the more I'm going to be saying to Mum, "Well, boy, I see coconuts in a deck chair in our horizon." Like, I'm out. I haven't got no time for it, man. Like, I really don't. And at least because I think like things are scarce on the shelves now, let alone hang on, someone did 1 second.
Someone put on their Facebook, it's only our land when it benefits them.
When it benefits them, absolutely. Absolutely. You can't be treated in the manner in which you're treated. When they're ready to tell you you're not British or you're this or you're that, and then they want you to come in. And I think as well, what I find interesting is that it's not just black people who are saying, no, absolutely not. It's white people that are saying the exact same thing. Everyone's saying the same thing. And it's not a colour thing. Everyone feels disgruntled. The morale is low, like I said earlier. And everyone's like, fuck that. I'm not going to fight no war. You must be mad. And then I think us watching what happened with our people coming here, building up the country after the war, fighting in the war, building up the country, doing all of this, and then still to be treated in the way in which they were, it doesn't give you much motivation to want to go on and fight.
I hear that, and I agree.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that and get it. But as I said, the situation is like I said, if people didn't fight, we will be in Nazi England now. Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
So it's you kind of got to weigh up what you got to live. Do you think if Hitler won, that black people would be having a great time in all the things now?
I don't know what happened with Hitler. I weren't there, you know.
Yeah. No,
so I feel like was he the bad guy? Because they tell a lot of shit, and do you understand what I'm saying? Who knows? The narratives that's put out there is the narrative that they've put out there, but it's the same narrative that they put out there about us. So I'm not being a paranoid, what's the word I'm looking for? Theory, the theory conspiracist. That's not what I'm doing. But sometimes you have to just look at what is what. And I'm like, well, I don't know. They keep like telling you to go home, and even I'm not.
People keep saying they keep telling you. It's not. As I said before, I'm not the one to defend Britain, the British government as a whole. They've done some terrible things, but it's not no individual parties like our manifesto is that send all the darkies home. It's not the Reform Party. So I'm not saying
that's the brilliance with British racism. It's very undercover and very. Yeah. That's the brilliance with it. It's a mind thing. It's, do you know what I mean? And you have got the BNP party. Was it the BNP party that are basically saying
BNP? You got what's that? I know they say they're not that. The Reform Party, which was the Brexit Party, them man is blatant racist. All their policies, even the half idiot black guys that used to be part of the party, used to be members of the party and running for election, chatting foolishness. But as I said, I've got a few MP friends. And one Conservative and 3 from Labour, and it's tensions. It's like all things get hot, and I don't believe. I said I don't necessarily. I said I don't. condone anything, especially over the last since Brexit, anything the Tory people have done. Go have to think they're taking the mick and been lying to lied to the people from the beginning. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
cool.
Sorry to I just got distracted by a comment. Jennifer Jackman says, "Hi, Sharleen DaCosta. What is this?" Do you want to explain to Jennifer Jackman what you're up to? What are you doing?
Hi, Jen. I am guest on this No Bravado show. It's been running for 2 years. They come and talk about, current affairs, world events. So yes, they invited me on to share some information about my business and to get involved in the discussion. Nice to see you.
All right. So as we're here, we say good evening to the people that I can see anyway, because sometimes it says Sharleen and Gary is watching, 3 others are watching. It won't say who they are. So if we miss you, it's not that we're doing it on purpose. We just really can't see who's there. But I can see Davina Khoorban. Good evening, my darling. Sharleen Samuels, our moderator for the evening in the comments. Tazzy Taz is here. Hello, Sugar. Sharon Cornwell, nice to see you. Yankees watching all the way from the US. Hello, babes, we miss ya. Cheryl Cummins is watching. Jennifer Jackman is watching. Amari Carr is watching. Hi, my love, how are you? And yeah, I can't see who else is.
We've got Martin Winter, Big Shop Show Sherry, and Sasha's watching, and Stephen Orham's watching.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us. Anyway, we could go on about this war forever. So should we move on to the next topic? What is the next topic? All right. Okay. So non-black woman states that black women would be winning if we would just be softer. So before we comment, I'm going to play the video with what she says, and then I'll take your opinions. Come on.
About black women, though, black women have the best bodies, some of the most beautiful faces. If they just sometimes were a little more soft,
Okay.
they would be the winning race, yo. Like, what?
So why do you think they're not soft?
I'm personally not black, so I have no idea. But they have the best bodies and like the best faces, honestly, in my opinion. Like, yo,
Black women
are winning in so many ways. I feel like everybody sugarcoats it, so I'm just being real.
Saying what you said.
Sugarcoat it.
Right.
Yo, you guys need to make a change, and that's a real thing. Like, that's why the women of other races are winning, and that's what it is. I'm too honest. I'm sorry.
Drop that mic.
Charlie's laughing.
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what I was gonna say? The first thing that comes to my mind is, don't shoot the messenger, listen to the message. Because whether you like what she's saying or not, yes, there is an element of truth in what she's saying. And we have to understand and acknowledge that men are attracted to feminine women. Yes, you may have the exceptions. We're not talking about them. We're saying about the majority of men are attracted to someone that is feminine. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Gary, I don't know if you want to say anything, but I would just say we can't dispute that fact. So if you're too aggressive,
I don't
think you're going to attract. Want to attract.
The first thing the first thing that made me laugh about it is, why do we have to section? Oh, the black women got great bodies. Not like they're really clever or smart. They got pretty.
That was the first thing that I picked up on.
I'm like, hold on. First of all, I don't need you to tell me that black girls are beautiful, black people are beautiful. But we'll take that about. But at the end of the day, it just shows me that even the most road girls in the world, person in the world, is soft when they're being treated nicely. People ain't mad for the sake of being mad.
Say it louder for the people in the
that as well. That as well.
It's like if you video me having an argument with somebody, I'm vexed with that person.
Right.
So when you're videoing all those, what I know it's very sexist to say the word, but I'm going to say it anyway. Karens and white Karens on the street getting vexed about foolishness. You're not saying, "Oh, white women are all aggressive," and you're not saying that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, but
come on, Arsenal.
But come on, though, you have
did they score?
Yeah,
you have to say we've got to have to be realistic. You know, there's a difference between being strong and being aggressive. You know, there's a difference. We're not talking about strong black women. There's nothing wrong with being a strong black woman. You know what I mean? But to be aggressive, because you know but what you're saying is right, because when I met my husband, he definitely activated femininity in me. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say I wasn't feminine or I couldn't be feminine before, but because he's the man, I can be the woman. But I've been in relationships where I've been the man because I've been having to do everything what I would expect my partner to do. So
that's the thing, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not. For me, as I said, watch the thing. You can say, "Oh yeah, black girls are aggressive" or whatever, or this and that. But what are you talking about? Like, if you vex somebody, they're going to be aggressive, and if you're videoing it, listen. I'm the cool. I shouldn't blow my own. I'm the coolest guy in the world. Yeah. When it comes to whenever I'll be jovial or stuff like that, but as a Taurian person, if I flick, I'm gone. I've got my head. All game over. If you feel me then, it's all black guys are aggressive. No, you never feel me when I was having a good time dancing, chatting. You feel me when I was
minding my own business. Yeah.
So that's what. But I will. What I will say. What disappointed me about that whole bit, and I know it's only a clip, and is none of the guys. Black guys there challenged her or pulled her up on it.
Yeah.
So to me, you're meant to be pulling me. You're meant to be saying, okay, you know what? Because at the end of the day, no respect. But if I'm dating somebody, and because you said they're aggressive, what do you mean they're aggressive? When you're in carnival and some man's touching up your bum, you don't want to, and you cuss him off, that's not aggressive. That's defending yourself.
Self-defense. It's only aggressive if it's us. You know what I mean? But all right, let me give my opinion. Because I was our No Bravado sis Davina posted this. Davina Khoorban, she's watching. So good evening, sis, and thanks for posting this. It was a real thought-provoking piece for me. I'm gonna be careful with my words because I'm in the middle of a legal situation because I was formerly employed somewhere and done a great job, and the CEO of the company said that he liked the work that I did, but felt that I should be softer. So I think this is why this post struck a chord with me, because when I'm asking in what way, what is it that you mean by that? Would you say that to a white person? It kind of got skirted over, and no, you wouldn't. I'm asking for opinions or feedback on what is it that it is that you mean. What do you mean by this? And not really able to give any reasoning other than, no, you do a good job, but you could be softer, or I didn't go to an evening out. So that caused a whole bunch of what I think is stereotyping. Now, you're right, Sharleen. There are times where we can definitely present a bit better, but I think that is with every single woman in every single race. Right. However, like you just said, you've been in relationships with people where you've had to be both the man and the woman, or in some cases the man may have left, so the woman has to be the man and the woman of the household, especially if she's got kids. And you're in survival mode. There's no one picking up for you. And like Gary just said, none of the guys, when it comes to the bashing of black women, no one sticks up for us. So you've got the odd guy like Gary that will be very just genuine in his approach. If he thinks we're wrong, he'll say we're wrong, and if he thinks we're right, he'll pick up for us. But overall, it just feels like we're left out here to defend ourselves. So we're out here being mum and dad. We're out here having to be at work. If you are too assertive or you're too intelligent, it's almost as if that old school form of, that slavery, like, well, who taught her how to read? So you do a fantastic job, but I just can't put my finger on what my issue is with you. It is that you're too assertive or you're stereotyped because you are a Black woman. But like you said, if you're allowed to be feminine, or if you're not constantly put in survival mode, then, or positions where you have to sink or swim, then a lot of us don't have the luxury of bouncing around.
Do you know what I'd say? A lot of it is, a lot of people said this about me to me as well, and people at work have actually said this to me. It makes me laugh, but I have to laugh. You're too direct. And like I said, I haven't got time to ask you something too, like, by the way, your hair, it may think, listen, Trisha, your hair looks whack today, fix it.
But it's delivery.
Delivery. But I'm just telling you what I've got time to do the whole pussy fitting around.
We're Tauruses. You and I are both Tauruses.
Yeah.
So
just tell me what the issue is and keep it moving.
I feel like if you are professional, if you are concise and methodical in your approach, it shouldn't be deemed as aggressive. So I think we get a really bad time and a really bad rep, especially if you're assertive in this skin, as just being misconstrued as abrupt or rude, or just simply asking for requests with a concise tone can be misunderstood. You then get home and your husband or your boyfriend or whatever the case may be, there are great men out there. So I'm never going to be the one that's going to be like, all men are this. Never that. Did you just score again? 2 what? 0?
2-0.
2-0. Anyway.
I'm not in Forest.
Okay. Well, that should be an easy win then, right?
Hey, listen.
Okay. But you get home and husband's not doing, or boyfriend or partner's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, so that you're the man in that scenario as well. It just feels like you're placed in survival mode and then criticized when you're surviving.
I don't even know that girl, that woman, that woman who's there. Her point of view is, and this is the thing I say, it's about what you see. So if your only interaction of Black people is Instagram or when people are arguing, that's what you're seeing, and that's why you think they're all rough. But I've gone out and I know tons of Black women are girly and soft and blah blah blah. Personally, I don't find it, I won't say attractive. I find it a bit annoying because maybe because I've got mostly women around me, and I hate that whole. Like when you go, oh please, I hate that. Just tell me what you want, yeah. But that may be because I'm Taurian. I just want something. Ask me for it. Stop all the, Gary. But and what do you want?
Yeah.
Thing, but it's softness. I mean, femininity, softness, whatever. I don't think I know any. I'm not going to say a Black woman. Any women that I have ever met that have been hard, just constantly aggressive all the time. There's times they're crying, there's times they're happy, there's times they're sad. You've caught somebody in that and said all Black women are like this, or they think they've got great bodies, but their temperament's off. Like, who are you talking to?
Because you don't get a vote really, because you don't know what it is that we experience. So someone just said in the comments, Davina just said in the comments, fighting the world and fighting our men too. Because it's almost as if, to me, we are dehumanized. If we have a normal emotion to something, you're having a Black girl tantrum or you're aggressive, when actually this has happened, and in normal circumstances, this would be the reaction. But because it's coming from me, it's been deemed as something completely different. And like you said, there is room for improvement with the way some of us present, absolutely. But
everyone's the same though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But everyone's the same. So, and it just feels like everyone wants to have an opinion on the Black woman and what we can be doing better and what we can, when you don't know our struggle. We don't get the love that you guys get because we ain't got the light skin and the long hair. So she was sat there on that couch with our Black men, and one of them saying, "Drop that mic."
Look,
but you see, you say that though as well. We are carrying as well a lot of unresolved trauma, a lot of generational trauma, and some, again, people may not believe in that, but it shows up in your life daily when you have unresolved, issues. This is how you present, being angry or being aggressive, because again, I don't like to generalize, but other cultures will seek out therapy or seek out certain things, and we don't. We have our parents, the grandparents, it all comes down, So this is why often people will say those type of things, because we carry in a lot. On top of,
I'll give you an example.
The one thing. Well, also with that, and I found this a lot with all these, with lots of people that come and do things there, looking what I call them, ambiguous. You can't actually tell where they're actually from because they're a bit like a real aura. You wouldn't, you know, if she's mixed race or whatever. They do their little body enhancements, and it's like trying to be something that you lot are not. Stop.
And then giving us this backhanded compliment, and to suggest that we would be winning would be to say that we're not. And Black women are out here doing their thing. We are winning. We're doing our thing. Get out of here. But what I will say, going back to you or what you were saying, Shah, about mental health, is that because I had experienced this racial discrimination, because microaggressions, they're exactly what they are. They're microaggressions. So but over a period of time, when you keep experiencing them, then it just builds up, right? And like I said, my issue was when you're trying to pinpoint it, there's nothing. It's a bunch of nothingness. We just don't like your assertiveness. You've done a fantastic job, but we don't like your assertiveness. And I say, if I was a white woman, I would be allowed to be assertive, not rude, very cautious and conscious about being unprofessional and rude at work. But like Gary said, straight to the point, this is what it is, this is what we need, and this is what we need to get it done. If you're trying to break down, like, you're trying to troubleshoot large areas of problems, and pussyfooting around is not going to get it troubleshooted, is it? This is what we need to do. And being direct or being concise in your approach as a Black woman is often deemed as aggressive. And it was a brain fuck. After a while, you do start to question yourself, and you do start to think, well, if our men are saying that there is room for improvement with our communication style, and that seems to be the general consensus, then there probably is room for improvement with our communication style. But then when we're asking for feedback, if I can't get a proper answer other than you're too direct or I can't quite put my finger on it, well then could it be that you're intimidated by our greatness? So, and then it's just another way to just throw dirt on you. This girl saying, oh, you'd be winning because you've got great bodies, but you've not mentioned our intellect, you've not mentioned our resilience, you've not mentioned any of that. But anyway, going through that as an experience, it was a bit of a mindfuck. So I wanted to seek out some therapy. I went to my doctor and I've asked for a counsellor because I'm not going to take antidepressants. Like, you go in highs and lows, but I'm never going to take antidepressants. So I wanted to seek out some therapy. And I asked for a Black counsellor. What do you think I've got?
Can't find them. They're hard to find. Very hard to find.
I've got a white male counsellor, which actually is a blessing in disguise because it helps you to kind of balance things out, and because I don't want to have this experience and then go through thinking that everything's about race and everything's a racial attack, because that's not what life is. So in a way, it's kind of worked out as a blessing. But a 48-year-old in this country that's going to be 49 in April and has paid taxes, worked all of their life, to a simple request to have a black counsellor, can't get it.
Can't. But listen, I got that
So-
word. You can't get it. We've got psychology team, amazing psychology. I'm not even that thing, and a couple of members of staff have asked for black psychologists to do, because we do like clinical supervision, and I'm not available. And there's not many people. Like my friend who went and studied clinical psychology said, out of a class of 62 people, there was one black woman.
So
and don't get me wrong, that's not necessarily the horse's fault, but there is something where we're not applying to get the therapy, to get qualified and to become counsellors, to get that support.
And the ones that are about, they charge because they need to make a living. So it's like, well, why aren't they accessible through the NHS? Why is it that if you are on a low income but you've got a preference in colour for a counsellor, that you can't get that unless it's private and you're paying out of the arse for it? So it's because of the way that the system's set up here. This is why we go back to this war question, why I'm not fighting, because I don't have the resources I need. Here, it's not taken into consideration. We're still in a country where if you have a whole black family in an advert, it causes uproar. Do you know what I mean? I think you're on mute. Are you talking to us, Shah?
No, sorry. The children
okay.
noise. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, if there's a black family on an advert on the TV, it causes uproar. So we're still in that time. So,
and you know what I would say about that, and you know when people say things cause uproar, like there's 64 million people in the country, and maybe 30,000 people complain. It's uproar. It's not uproar. It's some minuscule majority that people try to make it seem like it's some, and it gets a lot of press, and it's like, oh, it's like we had 600,000 people complain about diversity on TV. I'm like, yes, so or complaints like so.
But Gary, if you look at it's only like now we're starting to get like little black programs, the little Tyler Perry things them on the TV. But even to get programs for ourselves, you'd have to go online and go on them sites where it's bare pop-ups to watch something. It's only now.
Yeah,
so diversity and our needs and our resources aren't being met. Still now in 2024, they're not.
I get that, and I'd say that TV. You know what? I think it's really because the world is so small now in regards to watching things on TV. Like if I didn't want to watch another show with white people, I could watch TV from Nollywood to the American TVs to everything. Yeah. Because you choose what you watch, what you want to watch, Netflix, whatever, you can watch it. But the problem for me is, and this is where I'm a bit snobbish, I can't watch Edith Tyler Perry thing. I can't watch dumbness on TV. I've just find it so dumb and so ridiculous. And storyline for week.
You need a little something.
Watch Harlem, or watch Run the World, or them with the black girls in it. Trying to be trying to be poor rate Sex in the Cities or girlfriends and stuff. You know, it's like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch Housewives, but I've not. For some reason, I've just not been tuned into it. I started to watch, and I'm just not there at the moment. That's not thing. So there's certain things that I'm not watching now, anyway. But I just don't think our needs are being met, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So going back to what Sharleen was saying in relation to mental health and in relation to therapy, there are some things that I think in terms of the trauma that we carry, because we had this conversation with Selena Johnson, and she said exactly the same thing, that Black people come from a place of trauma. Until we deal with that trauma, it's going to be a cycle that continues to repeat itself. However, in efforts to deal with that trauma, we're going to need trauma specialists, people who understand the trauma that we've been through in order to tackle it. But if we can't get access to that, then how do we move past the trauma? Does that make sense? So you are going to carry the generational thing unless you make some sort of concerted effort to do like what you're doing, the breathing, the meditation, and the general healing, understanding what your chakras are, trying to clear them out, and all of the rest of it. But if that's not your school of thought, and you just want some traditional kind of therapy, our needs are not being met here if we need diversity in for mental health. It's not.
I think as well, everything I feel like when you talk about the TV programs and music, everything is designed as well to reinforce all of that negativity. Because like I personally, I don't watch things like, I don't want to say the names, but they're just certain shows or series that I don't watch because it's perpetuating this narrative of, boys being in gangs, boys being on the street selling drugs and all that. I that doesn't interest me. Those are not the type of things I like to watch, or the reality thing, and they're arguing and they're fighting and they're
fighting,
like, all them things there, you know what I mean? It just doesn't, but it all just perpetuates that narrative. We want to see things that are, just more nourishing to your spirit, nourishing to your soul. Because even when like we speak about like the generational curses and the different things that we carry, I always like to encourage people to focus on the generational strengths. When I look at my grandparents and see the great strides that they made as coming from the islands with a limited education, and they picked up, and but we have people now, they live in South London, they wouldn't even come to East London, they feel like it's a million miles away. Do you know what I mean? We just don't have that. Those are the things that we need to be using to nurture ourselves, to just ignite that greatness within us. But everything is just designed to sort of perpetuate the music, all that music. What is going on? Like I feel so old to say it, but like I can't stand it. Like I can't stand it.
Can't stand what?
Like all that Cardi B, all that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no.
See, music and stuff is always the thing. You know what I mean?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just a time we're in. So I think that perpetuates the aggression, all this baddie business. Like, what's that?
There's a program dedicated to people just fighting and kicking off, and it's famous for just kicking off each other's faces. It's mad. Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
But hold on. See, this is a funny thing, right? There's tons of nice shows on TV for black people, yeah?
Like
everybody hates Chris. Everybody hates Chris.
Hates Chris. Okay.
All right. Hold on. Blackish.
Sorry.
Blackish.
What?
Blackish.
On normal TV, or do you have
on Channel 4?
It's on Channel 4.
You didn't like Blackish?
I didn't watch that, to be fair.
I liked it. I liked Blackish.
Blackish, funny, very successful family. But I mean, the dad was a bit off key. But I mean, trying to keep, because he's successful, but he's trying to keep his roots like he's still from the street, but he's not really. He's middle class now.
In the middle of it,
It's proportionate.
Yeah,
it's very, because he's saying tons, and so far he's named 2. So out of thousands of people.
I've stopped. Hold on. I've got tons. I've got more.
What about the music then? What about the music?
I'm going to be honest with you, and we have, because I DJ, right, and we've had this conversation lots of times. For me, the greatest era of hip hop was the late 80s, 90s. Not because of they were the best rappers, but what there was a choice. So if you wanted to hear some NWA and F the Police and Ra, you had that. Then you had the Roots. Then you had De La Soul. Then you had Jungle Brothers. Then you had, if you want Public Enemy for the conscious rap, you had so much diversity in the music. So you could listen to this, listen to that. Somewhere in the end of the 90s, it just turned gangster or kind of shoot 'em up, kill 'em up. When you don't have the commons, you don't have all that music with the diversity, the Tyler Kylie, all this type of music. You don't have that anymore. So somewhere along the line, it became more profitable to sell violence, sex and violence, than it says
violence.
But only in our community.
But only in our community.
No,
exactly. That's what I was going to say.
But if you listen, but the problem for you, right, and maybe because I do, if you listen to some of them pop tunes, they're exactly the same. Because you don't listen to the music.
It's
exactly the same, Gary.
And they're not talking about killing each other. They're not talking about their women being bitches or whatever.
Yeah. I do appreciate that, but I will say that if you listen to some of them pop tunes, they're talking about the whole same sexual or no type of different thing. Even if you listen to things like Sweet Caroline, if you listen to actually go through the lyrics of that tune, you're like, oh my god, the man's a paedophile.
Oh wow.
If you listen to the lyrics, you're ready. This, that, the other. The man, Sweet Caroline. If you listen to the lyrics, get the lyrics on, you'll be like, oh my god.
We have to contend with. There's a lot we have to.
I suppose
there's a hell of a lot that we have to contend with, and it's set up that way. So like I said, mental health is something that's the key. So you're right, Sharleen. Our mental health is the key, and I think that it's set up in a way that you can't be your authentic self because of some of these things that are floating about out there, such as the music and the stereotypes and so on and so forth. You're just consistently placed into one of these boxes, and your actions or just how you are may be just misconstrued. So it's dehumanizing to not be able to be your authentic self without causing offense. And you don't even have a proper reason. Like when we're talking about, because there are plenty of healthy Black relationships out there, so we're not going to generalize and we're not going to feed into that narrative. But even if you look in the group, some of the bickering that goes on in the group between the sexes, it's like we're worlds apart, and it's like they just don't get us and we just don't get them. So, I mean, I'll go into the comments because someone said something interesting, because guys don't feel like they can talk to us authentically, and we don't think that we are being heard or can speak authentically. And I think it's because of a lot of outside chitter chatter like this. Do you know what I mean? We got to listen to each other, not what anybody else has got to say out here. But anyway, Davina said, my take on this is a discussion about why Black men date out. Not as a non-Black woman, her opinions are mute, as she cannot speak for Black women, although they need to stop doing that. The real issue is who is feeding her this. Gary, can you guys read the other comments for me?
I can't see them.
Right. Let me struggle through them. Anna said, when you've been on survival mode for so long, independent by force for so long, being strong is all you've known for so long. Being tough is not something that comes easy. It's a conscious effort that one needs to make. Some women who have had soft lives all their lives won't be able to relate or understand this. That's what I think. Cassie Gorin.
Yeah.
Go on. Go on.
No, I was going to say, as well, look how long as well we've been, there's that narrative of, we don't need a man, we're independent, we can do it all, we can be the mum and the dad, we can be the breadwinner. That must be the worst information that we've ever received, because that, yes, we can. Why would we want to? Why would we want to do that? When I was single looking after my children by myself, why would I want to do that? I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. But it's this thing about being strong, independent Black woman that, no, we want to be loved. We want to be, we want partnership, companionship.
Yes, we do.
We want to help her,
Use the word helper, like I'm a Smurf. Use the word helper like I'm a Smurf.
Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about? It works both ways. You know what I'm saying? It works both ways. It works both ways. But I just think that was one of the worst things that we were told, to be this strong, independent Black woman. No, we want to be like everybody else. Yeah. We want to be loved. We want to be, in relationship. That's how we were created. We weren't created to live by ourselves and to struggle alone. We was created to be in partnership, to be in union with, with our other half.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think part of that as well is us, because I've got a friend that used to pride herself on not really showing her feelings and stuff like that. And like, I would never. And I'm like, you know what? I was very much like that. But now I'm going to say that actually hurts my feelings. Don't do it. I think it is about communicating that as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think people will understand more how we feel if we talk about it and we can articulate it. But again, I'm going to ask the question, is in the comments, in the chats, guys, if you're watching, let me know. Is there something about the way that we communicate as Black women that is triggering? That's what I want to kind of figure out. Because a lot of people are saying it, or is it that they are just dumping on us? Bit of both.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading this comment from, what is that, Cassie
Gorin.
Yeah. She was saying that
it's a backhanded compliment.
Like Black women, we believe that we can't be strong and soft at the same time. Yeah, you know, it's like with anything, we need balance. You know, there's a time to be soft, there's a time to be strong, isn't it? When there's a time and place for everything, you know?
Yeah, there is. There is.
So it's just
Soca Queen, she said, outside of the UK and USA, where there is a high population of Black women, for example, Africa and the Caribbean, for the relationship, they were both the same color. We need to stop saying that Black men prefer white women, as it depends on where you live in the world. That being said, there were some points that the lady said, which is correct, whether we like it or not. We just don't like to appreciate what she's saying because she isn't Black. The Western world has made it seem that men being with Black women wouldn't be a good thing, and they would look after having a white woman more on their arm. Some Black men in the USA have strong hate for Black women, and I think here too, to be fair. And for that, I blame a high percentage on their family members forever calling them ugly N-word for years growing up. Imagine growing up being called ugly by people that's meant to love you. So what happens if you believe all Black women are like this, for example? Social media doesn't show a positive representation of Black couples, just little examples of EastEnders where Kim was with Richard Blackwood and they were a happy Black couple, and for no reason they wrote him out of the show and she became a single parent. How was that necessary? He could still have been in that show today having a positive influence, but removed for a reason, because the positive influence, I guess, plays more of a role than we care to imagine.
But Richard did say he was only contracted for 2 years. He was only contracted for a couple of months, and then they developed his character, and he was only contracted. He only signed a contract for 2 years, and he got offered more money at Hollyoaks.
Oh, so he's over at Hollyoaks now. Bless you.
Sometimes the things go in the background.
Yeah, true. I thought you was watching your Arsenal. I wasn't even up because I saw him just up in the screen watching Arsenal. But he can multitask. He's one of the men that can multitask. Come on, my G. So, Chanel Lucia, my niece, said, "Kiss my teeth. She's one of them feel superior with the Black men that have some sort of hatred towards Black women and put them down. The ones you walk past and they grab their Black man like any wants their crusty self. They've made her feel entitled to chat her bull. Let her carry on because she'll say it to the wrong Black woman and catch a softer slap."
You see, this is what
the whole family, you know, they're too funny. I'm not being no man's yes sir, no sir, please kind of woman, because I know who I am. If that makes me come across harsh or aggressive, so be it. Females like her get used by Black men because they like to get walked over, cheated on, and will bow down to his feet just for their mixed race babies. Ooh, ouch. When you earn the right to be treated like my king, my other side will show, not just because you think you're something.
Did you on that thing? Did you see that thing where Cardi B was talking the same thing about Offset? So she was saying about she'd rather have her man who cheats on her reasonably regularly and she's been that with guys who treated her really nicely or made her happy, and she doesn't like it. She said that the guy, there's nothing there. I love who I love. So yes, he cheats on me, but I love who I love.
I think
hear that though. Why would you love that? Do you think that isn't healthy?
It's a toxic bonding. People get.
Why are you going to want somebody who does that to you?
Yeah,
it's not healthy.
Some people are attracted to the toxic cycle.
Huh?
Some people are attracted to the toxic cycle.
You know, she look how she's a big superstar. You know, they're supposed to have everything and be happy, but he's still.
She's happy. She said she's happy. She's happy with her man. She's happy
She's
with
not
her
happy
man.
with herself.
She's
though.
not happy with herself, and she wouldn't be out there fighting the girls them if she was happy with it, or making people fight the gal them. Then if you're happy with it, Soca Queen Shell said, "I don't believe there's anything wrong with what she said. We have a protective barrier that we cover ourselves in, and sometimes it can just come across that we're stone-faced. It's not intentional. Outside of the beautiful females, you know, when you walk past and smile or say hello, how many do in return? Because the cost of living's gone up and everybody want to know when they're going to get their next phone. Time to be fucking walking around smiling. And it's cold. Anywho, cold as fuck.
Worried about the
cold walking around smiling. Yeah. Oh, we just can't catch a break. Rosemary Gabidian said, "Totally agree. We need to be softer and smile. Damn, yes, the struggle is real in all different aspects of life and will remain real. But a simple smile, please." I'm going to skip these ones and jump to this next one. Nikki said, "As a woman who does not identify as black, her opinion means nothing to me. A white man cannot tell our black men how to behave. So how is she able to get to tell us how to be? Yes, some black women have some work to do, but so do other races. Why are we always the ones that get called out?" I think she's got a great point. She'll be the woman that would side-eye you when she's out with her black man and feel above us because she can be soft because black men are giving her the right to do so. And I think that's it. I think that other women have the luxury of being softer and because they're treated differently, whereas we're the mums, we're the doers, we're the flipping mammies to the earth, innit? So it's like we don't get chance, still like we're mammies. So we don't get a chance to be soft and, you know, pretty and all of the things because everyone's got bills to pay.
But you also got to remember, no disrespect, like I said to people before, the girl looks how she looks, and like you're only going to look like that for a little while, babes. You're going to get into your 30s and 40s, and things are going to start dropping or getting wider, and then the whole women body's got you got to be comfortable with yourself. So inside, any black woman just needs to be happy with what she's doing inside and how she is, and know at the end of the day, people, I said before, people aren't angry and vexed for the sake of being angry and vexed. Yes, maybe a couple people are, but most people aren't angry and vexed. It's because something's happened. There's a situation, and you're reacting to the situation.
But for us to still be explaining that in 24 as black women, that if we are angry, we are human. So if something has happened and there's been an emotional response to that, why are we not allowed to have the same emotional response as every other woman without it being labeled in this way?
No, but that's the thing, Trisha. They don't. And this is the thing I say. You've got, and I've said this to my daughter, and I've said it enough times. I said, when you're, wherever you are, watch out for the magic white girl tears, yeah? Watch out for the tears, yeah? Because once the tears start, everyone drop down, right? I'm telling you straight. Everyone, listen, I'll give you a little story. It happened at work, yeah?
Yeah.
We had this black nurse at work, yeah? Everyone used to call her aggressive and red her and rough, but always. This white woman, right? So we've got all like the head doctors in one room. They all sit in one room. Yeah. This woman come and kick off the door, waving the 4-4. White woman.
You told me about this.
Cut off the whole room. Yeah? The whole room get cut off, right? Like, and then slam the door, walk out. Then someone said something about how the person must be having a bad day, and then someone in the room was a black woman. Turned around and said, "You see, that's white privilege." And then turned back and kept walking.
Because she was able to bust into a meeting with professionals, cuss off the whole of the place, and then walk out and slam the door. And nothing was. She wasn't called aggressive once.
No, it was, she must be. There's a moment. There's an issue. There was something, and the person turned around and just said, "That's white privilege."
You know what I mean?
Drop the mic. Keep it.
Drop the blood clot mic, because
the person said, if that was so and so nurse that did that, game over.
Finished.
Security.
Drag up. You understand?
Check the P45 at the door, yeah?
So crazy. Crazy. But there's one comment I want to read from a guy, which I found interesting. And I've been getting a lot of inboxes from guys that are basically saying that they want us to keep an eye on the fact that they want to be able to say their opinion if we agree with it or not, because men don't talk. And the mere fact that they are starting to talk and say stuff, we should just allow it. Just allow them to say what they want to say freely.
No, that's wrong, no.
Because they don't get an opportunity to speak.
I disagree with that. If you say something that I disagree with, I can challenge you constructively, because
No.
I can't let idiot people say idiot things, and that's because you're a woman or a man, I must let it go.
No, that's not what they were saying. They were just saying that men don't get they don't have a safe space to speak. And it's not that every time they say something that might be a little bit sensitive or something that we disagree with as women, that we just jump all over them. It's about having a constructive kind of, So anyway, Ade Shakoya said, I'm not going to get involved in this other than to point out something very interesting that I noted. And that is, the majority of comments here are from women. I get it's kind of about women, but it's the context of how she believes men experience women. Right or wrong, would men's perspective have provided a chance for discussion, learning in regards to this? And is there a wider issue that men, even alpha males, are unable to share their views and truths, right or wrong, without fear of having those views attacked by women when they are not in opposition to those views commonly held by women? And in case you're wondering, no, I'm not asking for a friend. I love our group members. You lot are the best.
Go on, Andy. Go on, Andy. Pick up yourself.
You know Ade.
What you saying?
Everybody, of course, we know Ade Shakoya, innit? But he was like,
no, but I agree with it. But really and truly, if you want to talk, listen, my views aren't the most left wing or whatever, right? But really, I've got a couple of right wing views. I've said a couple of things that are probably a bit risque and people disagree with. Sometimes I say some things on here and I look on the side of my eye and I see Natalie's eye just switch. Give me the look. But it's not about, like I said before, I may have reasons for how I think, and I think I can express the reasons why I think that way. And even if they're wrong, I can give you a reason why. Like I've always said to people, as long as you've got an argument and you can defend your position, you may be wrong, but you can defend it and you got a logic. I don't mind if you're wrong. I don't mind. It doesn't make a difference to me. I think you're wrong, but you can have that view.
Yeah.
But as I said, I just don't want people to come on the show and be like, this is kind of, because I'm so and so, and because I'm a black woman. And I know people say this, I disagree with that whole thing where because she's not a black woman, she can't mention or say.
Well, she can't understand our lived experience, though.
No, I'm not saying she does, but she can have an opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, as I said, she can have an opinion, and I'm not knocking her opinion because that's what you think, and from whatever you've seen, that's what you think. But you know what I mean? I don't necessarily think it's right. But when they listen to Stefflon and Jada, then they hear that's what they hear.
Yeah. Well, all right. Next topic and final topic posted by our little Firestarter moderator, Sharleen Samuels. She wants to know, do men really enjoy this? Men should tell us how they feel when sucking their nipples or breast. So, Gary, do men like this?
I don't know. I can't talk for no one else other than myself. It depends. It's like any. I guess it's like anything. I think it's a bit like this. It's like
Charlie's busting up.
No, this. It's like it depends who's doing it. Because I know some people can do exactly the same thing, and if one person's a bit dead and one person does it a little better, so it depends on what they're doing.
Charlie, why you busting up?
If you've got Roger Rabbit or whatever there, find up yourself, find up your things. It's not going to be work, is it?
Yeah.
Roger Rabbit.
It's not my go-to. I must say.
You can't stop.
I just clocked what he meant. Roger Rabbit.
It's not my go-to. I tell you.
Yeah, I feel you feel a bit dumb, like sucking a nipple. Like I don't know, but I guess because it's nothing.
I mean, man, knocking up the areolas.
Just sucking areolas for what? But this is every time I come on the show, I end up crying. I swear.
Not areolas and Roger Rabbit up with you got a choice. Top suck, bottom suck. Who's gonna entertain that? It's like,
oh gosh.
I'm sure if people do certain things, they like it.
Oh dear. Charlene is a little troublemaker and she ain't come on today. It's in the comments, but she's a little troublemaker still. But yeah, but she wanted to know if men find that stimulating.
Aggie, where are you now? Yeah, Aggie,
she's not even in the comments at the moment. Where are you at, Charlene?
Where's the man of them?
Where you at? I'm typing to her now. Oh, too funny. But she wanted to know. So anyway, we asked a question in the group. There were so many comments, I couldn't get all of them.
Yeah, I saw there was tons of people commenting on it.
Yeah, there were so many comments. I was just like, and plus I was kind of late today, so I could only get what I could get. In terms, because I couldn't go through all of the comments, if that makes sense. But Ozzy. Charlene said she's here. We've got a question for you, Charlene. What did you say, Charlene, to her? Where you dead out? You start this trouble with nipple sucking. Where are you, Miss Charlene Samuel? Hilarious though. Anyway, Oz Effatiri said some women bite it or don't even have the technique to create pleasure from it, or they go there just to create pain or inflict pain.
Roger Rabbit in, man. Roger Rabbit.
But if a woman knows what she's doing, then you get goosebumps. And there were 17 replies. I could not. Jermaine said, Jermaine said, no, thank you. Ken said that's organic Viagra. Organic Viagra.
So it makes him happy.
Come on, then. Charlie said she'll come on if she wants. Let her explain this. Come on, then, Charles. Just come in the back room and I'll let you on in a minute. I think it's all down to the individual. It's choice or preference, just like my positions or any type of foreplay. Also, it's about the type of relationship two are in. Is it casual? Do they know each other enough to be open enough to really overstand each other's likes, wants, or needs, as maybe as close as connected couple may be. The nipples chest area for men are only one love zone erogenous out of many, so at least there's a choice for us ladies to explore our man. I read some comments about younger generation not liking it. I think again it's choice and experience. Some like foreplay, some don't. So foreplay is a must for me though. Let me just see if Charlene's in the back room but she can come and defend her pose. It's in there. I put the link in there already.
You put your glasses on, Gary.
As the night gets worse, my eyes are getting worse. I can't see a chocolate bar.
Shah, the link's in the moderators group. I put it in there already. Scroll up. We're coming towards the end now. Don't even worry because we're coming towards the end now.
Miss Spencer says, I know someone who loves that. Wow, are you, Miss Spencer? Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is too funny.
Patrick said, what a way to make a man feels like he's on top of the world. Damn. Laughing out loud. Adrian Sim said, lesbian tendencies, mate.
Black people, yeah.
Foolishness. I swear, if you're having a bad day, yeah, go into this group and read some of the comments. You'll catch joke and it will perk you up. They're fucking hilarious. They are so funny. Joshua said, I love it. Charlene said she's curious. Luther said, not for me, thanks. Hang on.
I don't see anything wrong with it. If a man loves it, he should enjoy it. Miss Lisa Morris.
Okay. Hang on. You read the comments for me whilst I try and find this thing for sure.
We've got Pamela Tusty. All the men I know love it. She, what? She's all the men she knows, you know. Not one or two, all of them. Some get off on it. You have to gauge the man and how he likes it. Just like how we like it in certain ways. Laugh out loud. Dan Rock must have replied to a little thing. Me personally thought men liked it. G, effing love it. Gavin, go on, Gavin Brown.
Gavin Brown. Love it.
Love it. Get in there.
That is too funny.
All right.
Hello.
All right, hang on a minute. Let me just remove this comment so it's not on your face, Shah. Right. Hello.
Charlene. Even I should say.
Someone's asked in the group, where are we going with this? In the chat? So,
They can't nowhere. Yeah.
where are we going with this? So, Charlene, explain yourself.
I was asking for a friend.
What's his name?
Don't worry about that. Data protection.
Okay, go on.
Evening, all.
Evening, lovely. We won't keep
Hello,
you on.
Charlie with an S.
Hello.
Charlene, meet Charlene with a C. Oh, bless you. We won't keep you on long, hun. Why are you curious about this? Why is your friend curious about this?
I know, I'm just talking about that. I've always wanted to know that. Like, do you like it? Do you not? Because the majority of you guys, I know, like it.
Okay.
They actually just want to. They. It's one of the things I found when I've been in the relationship. They, want to push it in your mouth like that, like you're breastfeeding them or something.
They're breastfeeding you mean? They're breastfeeding you, not the other way around. We get the suckling. We get the suckling.
They were pushing in your mouth like you're supposed to be breastfeeding them or something. You know what I mean?
Charlene, like this.
What is happening to push in your mouth? One little blip. Like it's it might get a little breeze through from me, but I'm not spending no time on it. I'm not.
All right. Gary, do you like it?
It depends on who's doing it, innit? Really?
It depends on who's doing it. And if they want to rub it.
It's all style and technique. I mean, it's like, do you know what? Someone was talking about sex and all type of thing. Like I said before, I ain't got time, for this whole. I'm old now. Like quick things. Give me this 2 hour mucking around, going on with different things. Listen, let's get to the thing. I've got work to do.
You're not saying it yourself.
You're not fun, is it?
I've got work to do, man. If we're gonna get to what do. Oh yeah, half an hour. Nah, come on.
A lot of fun, isn't it?
Exactly. He said half hour.
Half hour. I need to be out. I've got shit to do.
Kelly, come on now. Seriously, you don't find that's that kind of foreplay. You have to get it. You have to soften it up and get it wet a bit in it. You can't just you can't go.
I can do that to them, but I don't need to get wet enough. All I need to get up.
Oh, so you're saying you don't care about all of that? Like,
I got time for all that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm just.
But how are you going to stimulate the woman in half hour and have the whole sex?
Listen, let's technique.
Exactly.
Let's techniques, man. I've been working on my proper wife.
Gary, you're too much. You're too much. You're going to Oh, God. Seriously? I think I'm going, Gary.
Not my papa wine. I can't.
Oh, God.
Catch my breath.
You've been practicing then, yeah?
Jennifer put down, sorry, you can't be my man.
He's been working on his papa wine, Jen. You might want to rethink.
Oh,
dead.
If it's ever to put a woman off or to make them go dry, continue doing that. Yeah.
Do you remember waiting to excel?
Yes.
And she said, now I'm at the zoo. The things we have to put up with, and then while you're smiling for no reason too.
Exactly. Oh, God.
Oh, this show's too funny. All right. Last of the comments, and then we'll sign off. The general consensus, by the way, is that men like it.
Yeah, cool. Said.
You got Shaw?
No, I'm here.
Most people will enjoy it.
Yeah, the general consensus was that men like it. Yeah, which I found quite interesting, because I didn't think they did. It's like, oh wow, you don't like this. It doesn't get no attention from me. Can't lie. It doesn't.
The game.
Yeah. Yeah, suck a nipple for a couple of minutes. What they call the difference? Shit. Can't lie. I was initially shocked when I discovered that men enjoy their nips being sucked. Yeah, too. I just didn't think it's the same level of sexual sensuality as ours. I'm with you, little Miss Simpson. I am with you. I just didn't think it was a thing, but apparently it is.
I don't even like it bitten.
Yeah, some are saying don't bite it.
Yeah.
You don't want the biting. The Roger Rabbit, they don't want it. Definitely, it's just each man their own, isn't it? Hayden Law said, definitely don't like it. At the very least, it's effeminate and it doesn't even feel good. It certainly doesn't feel pleasure like in the lower region, even the lips. My nipples don't have enough nerve endings for it to have any real pleasure.
Nervous.
Any real pleasure from this kind of tension. In fact, it can be quite annoying. I'm guessing female right. I'm guessing female nipples have more nerves to make it pleasurable. A hand rubbing or a caress in my chest in the right way feels better. A female hand, that is. And I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. I made it a short show because, well, it was meant to be an hour and it's 10 to 10, so 2 hours. So not a short show, never is.
How are you gonna make this a short show on like less than 2 hours, whatever?
Sorry?
I don't know how you make this less than 2 hours, like with all the topics.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be just one or two topics, and then it wouldn't be us, would it? It'd be kind of dry. But we have so much. We have a laugh doing this. It doesn't even feel like it's 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't. We have a laugh. We have a bubble. So, with that said, let me thank you all. Go on. Go.
Just wanted to say, one thing I wanted to say before. Did you see the thing? I know some of you do go carnival and some of you don't go carnival. About how they're being more stricter now on the carnival. So if you're on the road, you've got a truck on the road, you can't pay bashment, can't pay so you've got to pay soca. So 4 bands have been removed from this year, been barred from this year's carnival because last year they played lots of Afro beats, they played too much ragga or bashment, so they've been taken off the roads. I can't remember.
Can they be on the sound systems though?
The sound systems are good.
Sound systems are good, but it's the actual carnival
floats.
bit.
Yeah, they're saying so they've barred 4 people this year. And then, as I say, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing that they're kind of trying to stick to the ethos of carnival and soca music?
I think it's a good thing. Because if they were saying they were going to eliminate all music, apart from soca throughout the whole carnival, I'd have been like, what the hell? But the actual band itself, the road walk, is meant to be about the culture and the music, and you know what I mean. So if you want to go and listen to Bashment, go over on the side there.
Go Saxon, go this, go that.
Go on the road there. I think it's a good thing. Yeah. All right. Well, Shah, thank you for coming on. Tell us again where they can find you. Have you got any official Instagram pages for your business or not yet?
Yes.
You have?
Yes. Should I post it in the chat?
Say it and then post it in the chat as well.
I'll do that. So, all right, guys, I'm going to have to go.
Yeah, but what is it? What's your Instagram?
It's Sharleen DaCosta.
On everything?
DaCosta. Yes,
So Messenger, Sharleen DaCosta, everything, Instagram, and you're going to put it in the chat.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I hope you come back.
I will do.
And congratulations on your new naturals. I love it. Be happy.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye, gorgeous. All right. So before I run off, I just want to talk about Black Excellence again. 2nd of March, Thamesmead area, 3 Signet Square. This time it's going to be from 2 till 7 p.m. So we hope to see you there. Come and support our Black-owned businesses. The stand sold out, but because we had to change the date, we now have a couple of stands available. So get in touch if you want to exhibit your business. And with that said, Sharleen, our moderator, I love you. Been great in the comments today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for your post. We caught joke. And Gary, thank you for hopping on. You know I love your perspective. So it's always good to catch up with you and see you. And I learn a lot from you because there's some things that you might just read a headline or you might just read like an article, but then you'd always have the backstory that's based on facts. And I really appreciate that. So thank you.
And you know what? And one thing I would say, I want to say to the whole group and anyone who listens to this afterwards, my facts on from my perspective, from what I see. So what I would say to people, when you see things, look at things yourself.
Yeah.
And I think I said, going back to that whole sperm thing in the brain, please just don't look at YouTube videos of these people on there who talk with authority, like Dr. Umar talking about how this I just can't take the people because
I like Dr. Umar, so we're not joining in there, but I like him. I think he just rubs people up the wrong way simply because of what he's saying. But I like
some of the stuff he says don't make no sense. So and don't get me wrong, I enjoy his perspective and what he's trying to achieve, but sometimes I think he goes about it the wrong way, if that makes sense.
I do agree.
So I enjoy what he represents, but sometimes I just feel like he kind of takes it somewhere where it's distracting from what he's actually the point.
He gets sidetracked.
Get sidetracked. I know that's frustrating, but and I'm not what I wanted to discuss, but obviously it's too late now. How can we? Because it's late. Cat Williams, man. You know that.
Oh my god.
We spoke about Cat Williams.
Oh, you did?
You and I, when we done it on the bites, ever so briefly, we was more discussing Steph and Jada, but Cat Williams blowing up the whole of the place. But he's like still going on. It's like the never-ending story. So tell me where we're at now.
I don't know. I know Steve Harvey come out and must have said 2 things. We said, but I stopped watching it now because it's become.
It's been going on. It's going on. It's going on. And people are using clickbait now, and it's just going on and on and on and on. So yeah.
And you said you watched the Red Bull thing, didn't you?
I loved it. I watched the clips that you sent me, and then I was like, nah, I need to watch the whole thing. So I found the whole thing. I thought it was bloody brilliant.
What was that?
Red Bull Culture Clash that Gary was talking about, the one that he went to, because I've been to one and he's been to one. So he sent me the links to watch the one that he's been to. And it was Boy Better Know against Rebel Sound, who consisted of Shy Effects and David Rodigan.
And Jason Status.
What is it, Chase the Status or Jason Status?
Jason Status.
Jason Status, right.
Status, yeah.
And
Stone Love
and Stone Love. So they all clash. And they're all clashing, and it's who's going to take the title for this clash. And I was watching it. I better know when they don't feed them to the lions. Did you see the energy on the crowd? It was fucking hell. That's got to be so exhilarating with feed them to the lions. The whole crowd's going nuts. Amazing. Rodigan comes out and says, "This is a clash. You can't just come out and sing your lyrics to the crowd. Done their dance." I said, "No."
No, this Ninja Man would say, "BBK, what? Best batty kisser?"
Oh God.
ASAP got mad when they played the Rihanna. She didn't say that. Because Rihanna, they played the Rihanna dub. And she must have said ASAP go home or something like that. And he was like, "That's a fake dub. That's a fake dub." I was like, "Oh, but it makes sense now because he must have did Love Off Rihanna from then." So because they got Baby now, in it, 2 Baby now. So who knows? But it was good. It was good. Send me some more.
The one the year before that, when Boy Better Know won, that was at Wembley.
Okay.
Wicked.
All right. Well, I'll watch that because I like Boy Better Know as well.
They were wicked. That's the first year they did it, and they tore the place up. And then they brought them back the second year to do it, and they were still good. Don't get me wrong, they were good. But
no, you can't go up against Rodigan when it comes to fucking dubs. You can't. Yeah. Dubs for days, dubs for days, and the dubs that they've done, like the Emily Sandy one.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Wicked. It was good.
Yeah.
So I watched the year before. I watched them.
Yeah, cool.
See what goes on.
But Charlene, have a great day.
You too.
You know what? If anyone wants to come down, I'm doing Pop World on the 24th of February in St. Paul's. If you want to come down and just have a nice jokey night,
I'm coming.
Pop musical night. It's just a joke.
I think it will be a vibe.
It's just it's a proper joke. It's like funny, but yeah. Dancing at a time.
What? So Kylie Minogue, I should be so lucky.
All that. Shake it off. You mean? Cool. Have a great night, ladies.
And there's 2 people who still here watching us do stupidness. So with that said, good night. Thanks for a good show. Bye. Good night.
Yeah. Bye. Oh God.